Hi. Uh, Welcome back. And this is a reminder, a non-scripted, not edited, which I'm gonna try to edit. I'm gonna give it a try. Can work. Um, I said before I was going to talk about this is a period in history I grew up in. Uh, this happened in 1976. It was called the Bicentennial. Uh, that year was probably the most patriotic year that I've seen in this country. It's the 200th anniversary of the country. Um, I mean, everything was bicentennial. You had companies like Coke, Pepsi, uh, all from everything you can imagine had bicentennials. It was all of it usually would have things on it like 1776 to 1976. Um, TV channels like CBS and such would have the bicentennial moment, which they'd have their celebrities speak about something that happened during that time period, Boston Tea Party, stuff like that. Uh, and all throughout 75 and going into 76, it was leading up to the point of July 4th of 1976, which was the big celebration. That was when everything was going to be uh, major as far as the bicentennial. So everything leading up to that uh, really started to jump towards it. Um, it was big in this country. If you look online, put in bicentennial in YouTube. If you put bicentennial in Google, you'll come up with lots of stuff. Recently, I seen a guy that was selling a bicycle that was from the bicentennial. It was great shape for $100. If I had a place to store it, I probably would have bought it. It had still had the manual and all that. It says bicentennial on it. Had the bicentennial logos on the bike and everything. Red, white, and blue. Um, you had the bicentennial quarters, and you can still find those. It's just, on the back of them, 1776 to 1976. Um, I remember I was 9 years old at the time, and I remember growing up during that time period, and it was just amazing how the patriotism was on it. Like I said, everything was leading up to uh, for the 4th of July. So when that actually hit, it was all over, parades everywhere. They had New York had the I believe it was the boats going by, a lot of the uh, vintage clipper ships and stuff like that. Uh, like I said, there was parades, and there was just about every town had a parade for the bicentennial. Again, like I said, you go on YouTube, you'll see them all over. And also, too, there was a very fascinating YouTube video that had, I think it was ABC, that they had a special on it, and they went to different cities that were all celebrating that year, and it was amazing. If you're the kind of person, if you enjoy patriotism for your country, then that year was the year to have it. It was just one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I'm glad the next one is going to be 2076, so I won't be around. But uh, people, I don't know if they're going to have it, what's going to be like in 2076, if they're even going to even celebrate a bicentennial, but if the country's even still here. But at the time, it was an incredible event, and it was something amazing to go through, to grow up in. I was like, as you can tell, I was a comic book fan. I know the comic books even had it. Marvel came out with Captain America Treasury editions, which came out in the 70s. They were like these huge, big books, huge. They were at about $1.50. They had one with Captain America for the Bicentennial on it. They had DC on all their books would have on the very top a little panel that said, DC is celebrating the Bicentennial. It was a time period where you probably won't, like I said, you probably won't see it again. It was something for the 70s. That time period, it was something else. It was a lot different than what you have now. There was no internet. There was no cell phones. There was no huge like TikTok or anything like that. It was a completely different type of time period. You watch this stuff on, not on social media, but everything was on television. The big three: ABC, NBC, CBS. That you see all these celebrations that was going on in the country, and of course, like I said, I was a kid. I celebrated fireworks in Illinois where I lived. It was illegal. Where I lived, it was kind of like passe. I know one time when we went to get fireworks across the bridge, Missouri Bridge, they had trailers. And when you go through I live outside Cairo, Illinois. So when you go through Cairo, there's two bridges, a Kentucky Bridge and a Missouri Bridge. So when you cross over to the Missouri Bridge, right on the side when you cross over was trailers set up for fireworks. And they were basically for Illinois residents where they set it up for. And I actually seen a police officer there one time when I was a kid buying fireworks. So it was very passe. It was actually ignored for the most part. But I remember that time period buying the fireworks, and not me, but my parents, and setting them off. And like I said, you got into it. It was a very interesting point in history to grow up in. If you watching this and you went through that period, you know what it was like. It was kind of an amazing thing to go through. Growing up and witnessing, that was something else. Trying to remember all that happened. Like I said, but I think I explained most of it. All the products that had the packaging for the Bicentennial, comics, quarters came out. The Bicentennial quarters, which you can still find. It was just like everything in this country was celebrating it. It was just amazing. That's all I can say. I wish I could be more precise, but as you grow older, your memories start to fade a little bit about what things were. I remember parts of it. Like I said, I was only 9 years old at the time, but I wanted to record a little bit of it, just so like I said, I don't have anybody. I never had kids, so I don't have anybody pass down the memories and how exciting it was. So I thought I'd, like I said, just leave this blog to remember it, to pass on some memories of what I had of it. Uh, I'm sure there's other people that experienced it that's my age or maybe a little younger that went through it, that was at the parades or was in New York during the parade of ships in the harbor. Um, if you haven't and you want to just check it out, just Google YouTube Bicentennial. You'll see a lot of it that's on there. It's interesting. Like I said, I think they did have the parade. Someone recorded the parade ships in New York Harbor. They had the fireworks for the Statue of Liberty. Um, uh, they even had. I didn't live in St. Louis at the time, but they even cut to St. Louis, which had its river boats and stuff like that. That was going on at the time. The president was Ford. He gave a speech at Philadelphia, I think, where they signed the Declaration of Independence. Um, that was a big thing, and most of everything you're going to see is from the big three, either ABC, CBS, or NBC. Those were the big TV stations today. They didn't have CNN. They didn't have cable for the most part. I mean, I think cable was introduced, but it wasn't a big thing at the time. Very few households had cable. I know my household, we just had ABC, NBC, CBS. Some places had independent stations. I think St. Louis had some, which where I lived at didn't have it, unfortunately. But it is a very, like I said, it's very interesting time if you're interested in the patriotism a country could have at that period of time, which was going on, which you really don't see today. Check it out. It's worth a look. Just as, a little point in history, to see where a country did come together in patriotism, and everybody celebrated it. Companies, people, parades, TV stations. I mean, it was huge. It was absolutely a huge thing to go through. So that's my memories. I wish I could be more precise and more clear, but like I said, as you grow older, my memories are not as fluent as they were. Some parts I can remember pretty well, comic books and stuff like that I mentioned, but it is something to behold. If you have a bicentennial quarter, or check if you even have quarters or old quarters, check and see if you have one. If you haven't seen one, it's interesting. You can tell them right away. You still on the back. My friend actually, his uncle just passed, and he found out his uncle had two bicentennial soda bottles still unopened. One was from RC Cola, and the other one was a Pepsi bottle. They looked like they just you could just open them and drink them. They just came off the shelf. I looked at the pictures. I thought he bought them somewhere. I thought they were like a rehash or a revisit, because it was right around the 4th of July, and I was like, I wanted to know, so I'd like to buy some. And but no, these were his uncles, and like I said, they were perfect. It's like you could just open up and drink them. But anyway, that's my little trip down a memory lane for the bicentennial. There's a lot more online. You can see as still photos or YouTube. If you want to learn more about it, to see what it was like at that time period, because like I said, it is very interesting. And it was hopeful for the country, even though we were going through what they called the Cold War with Russia. It was a very interesting time to grow up in. Interesting decade. But I might put more about that coming up. But like I said, the whole meaning of the channel is just to drop somewhat what I remember and some of the memories I have that I can maybe leave if YouTube stays around. And can be seen when I'm gone. But anyway, I'm going to try to edit this a little bit, maybe add in some pictures. I'm not sure if I can or not. I'm going to try it. Like I said, this is all new to me. And I'm a very novice person on this. So anyway, if you're watching this, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And like I said, what's the old saying? I think it was NFC, learn more about it. You can, and there are, like I said, just use Bicentennial. But anyway, I thank you for watching. If you are watching this, thank you for sticking with me as I ramble. And like I said, this is unedited, just off the cuff talking. Just like if you're talking to somebody you meet in a grocery store or something like that. But anyway, have a great day, and again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope my memories will last past me. But bye for now, and maybe next time I'm trying to think of something, a topic to put on here for, like, that I remember growing up, and when I do that, I'll make another video. But thanks for watching, if you are. Bye.